Hello and welcome, I'm John Peters from Heal Planning. This video is a case study detailing a recent planning appeal in the Liverpool City Council area for a Lawful Development Certificate for a small HMO in an area with an Article 4 direction in place that we undertook for our client recently. This application was originally validated by Liverpool City Council on the 1st of August and refused on the 3rd of December for a Lawful Development Certificate to legalise the change of use of a small HMO in an area that an Article 4 direction was subsequently introduced. This planning appeal was classed as a Lawful Development Use appeal and was not restricted by timescales to appeal. Due to the nature of the refusal and without the permission, the client would be in breach of planning control, and the local authority would move to enforcement action should the client have not appealed. The refusal reasons given by Liverpool City Council were that the local planning authority considered that the proposed Lawful Development Certificate to legalise the change of use of a small HMO was not lawful and liable to enforcement under Section 172 of the 1990 Act. The decision notice went on to detail technicalities as to why this application was not lawful. This refusal is a classic local authority refusal for this type of application, where they simply are not in favour of this use. If the client had not appealed promptly, an enforcement notice would have been issued and the client instructed to stop the use. We know this because Liverpool City Council Planning Enforcement Team were already in correspondence and collating the information needed to serve an enforcement notice. Obviously, our client could have appealed any enforcement notice issued, but it's better not to incur the additional costs associated with an enforcement appeal. We notified Liverpool City Council that an appeal was in process and shared our documents with them, and they agreed to set aside any action awaiting the appeal outcome. For this appeal, we produced a 12-page detailed appeal statement. Working our way through the decision notice, we went into great detail explaining why the evidence provided reached the balance of probability to grant the permission. Many Lawful Development Certificates /uses, applications and appeals fail due to the lack of detail. It is vitally important that this detail is covered in the correct manner within the planning or appeal statement and with supporting documents such as statutory declarations. The importance of this cannot be understated. Simply attaching a few documents is unlikely to meet the balance of probability alone, but if the appeal statement is completed to the highest standard, then the detail will be covered. This case, like the vast majority of similar cases, was dealt with by way of written representation, and as such, it's paramount that the argument and evidence is very comprehensive and robust. The inspector visited the appeal site on the 18th of March and issued the appeal decision on the 28th of March in a 4-page appeal decision report. The good news was that the appeal was upheld and the Lawful Development Certificate granted. Our approach for producing appeal documents that go into great detail, collating all relevant evidence with supporting declarations and to supply supporting cases where the inspectorate has granted similar appeals was invaluable. This gives the client their best chance of success. Admittedly, it does take longer to produce and increases the cost slightly by going into that level of detail, but it is that attention to detail that is absolutely paramount. As an organisation, Heal Planning is one of the leading appeal specialists with both dedicated in-house planning and legal teams whose job it is to win your case. Both these skill sets are invaluable to produce a robust and compelling case to gain a win. You won't find many organisations in our industry that have both these skill sets, a planning and a legal team, and it is most definitely a majority reason why we have the success rate we do. Without appealing your planning refusal, you cannot gain the permission you would like. Your appeal will go to the Planning Inspectorate. They're a government-based organisation that is appointed by the Secretary of State to handle all types of planning appeals. Based out of Bristol and covering England and Wales, the Planning Inspectorate gives you a chance of success to gain that permission you're seeking and taking the decision process away from the local authority's planning officer. You will find a host of videos and various types of planning appeals and the other services we offer on our website. If you'd like a free, no obligation consultation with myself or a member of our team, please call us on 01743 369 911 or email appeals@planningappealsuk.com. lawfuldevelopmentus.com and give your appeal its best chance of success. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.